Alright, this is my son's Remington 700. What I'm going to do is turn this down to where this will be able to slide over it freely. Then I'm going to put a set screw in it and put a divot in the bottom of his barrel. That way it can hold it into place. It serves really no other purpose other than the statics, and it's probably going to look cool. But yeah, first thing we're going to have to do is throw this thing in the lathe and turn down this portion, and we're also going to have to clean up the inside of this Barrett muzzle brake because it does have some rough spots from casting. Alright, first thing I'm going to do, we got some rough edges in here, so I'm going to use a file, knock off those rough edges off the muzzle brake.
Yeah, no, a lot of people think.
Almost done. There we go. Alright. That was easy enough. Alright, so I've got it indicated in the lathe. I'm not going to have to worry about taking off the thread protector because we're not going to be turning it down that low. See, on our calipers we got 783. Kind of fluctuates a little bit, around 783. So we'll start at turning it down to 783 from 826, 25. See how it fits, and then adjust from there. Alright, we've got our mark here, how far we're going to be going as far as cutting it back goes. So we are going to zero out our dials. And get close to it, so when we turn it down, there we go, we've got a scribe line. Alright. Set our zero. Get back to zero. Let's start cutting. This is going to be 20 thousandths that I've taken off. Let's see where we're sitting. Go ahead and hit it with a file. smooth it off a little bit. Alright, so after our first couple rough cuts, we're sitting at 805. We're going to go to 784. Alright, let's see where we're at now. We're at about 793. So we're going to take another 10 thousandths and then see how it fits. All right. Almost a little bit more. Let's take another, we'll say 4 thousandths. All right, that's close. Yep, and that's what we want. All right, I'm going to be using a 840 set screw. So, I mean, this doesn't need to be super precise. Just somewhere where it looks uniform and centered. That stuff is hard. All right. All right, we got us a little mark there to go off of. Now we need to use a center drill to give us a pilot for our drill bit. All right, I've got my center drill and our drill press. Now I'm going to give us a pilot for our drill bit to follow. Go a little deeper. Yep, looks good. Going nice and slow with this fast stuff. All right, now we can tap it. Okay, we've got our T-tap with an 840 tap in it. Hit it with some cutting oil first. You want to go in centered. Apply light pressure from the top as you turn. And after about your first turn, you're going to want to back it up a little bit to break the chip. You know, a lot depends on the composition of metal of what you're tapping, but you got to go a lot by feel. And if it feels like it's starting to bind, stop. After you get some threads in there, it'll actually start to bite, so you don't have to press down anymore. You just got to feel for that resistance. And you'll feel a big pressure release as soon as it punches through. And I think that was it right there. Yep. Yep, we're all the way through. Alright. Alright. Now let's bead blast it and get started on putting a divot in our barrel. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and bead blast it real quick to clean it up. It's got a little bit of surface rust and just a bunch of BS around it. Alright, this should be good enough for this ugly thing. Alright. Got my center mark for my muzzle brake. What I'm going to do is tighten up this set screw, leave myself a mark to go off of before I throw it in the drill press. All right. Tighten that up pretty good. Now, I should have something to go off of. Yep, there we go. All I gotta do, hit that with a center drill, get myself a divot, and then put some cold blue on this bare spot. Alright, so now I'm going to drill my divot. The set screw is about .16, so we're going to give it about, I don't know, 6 thousandths extra. Call it .166. Yep, 0.166 for a drill. First hit it with a center drill. And make sure to hit from all angles, make sure we got it good. All right. Now, we're not going to give this much at all. Just a little bump. All right, let's see how it fits.
But keep complaining, it's
Yeah.
Don't make any sense. This is from mid-November.
Let's just heat it up again. All right, we're going to need a little bit more heat. This barrel is thick. try that. There we go.
Anyway, we're going to try
All right, that's that.
a new.
Put it back in the stock. All right, and we have a somewhat finished product. I'm still going to end up Cerakoting our muzzle brake, but other than that, looks good. I think we're going to have to get the kid a new chassis. This one's just a little cheap. But anyway, good to go.